country. And I would want to say that today you're coming here perhaps signals something that is very good for the Ministry of Education to consider, that some special attention be given to these iconic institutions for purposes of enriching our heritage as a nation and also pushing forward a message that we need to have premium entities to help grow our human resource. Finally, let me say this. I'm not a lawyer, but I know that you're not supposed to argue with a judge. She said that there's a school that is better than Nairobi School, Loreto Girls. But as much as I may not argue with the judge, I think I'm allowed to register my objection. I am convinced 100% that this is the school. And speaking not as a Prime Cabinet Secretary, Your Excellency, speaking as one of Nairobi School, I am really very happy on behalf of all these good people to say asante sana for gracing this occasion and being with us today. Let it not be the last. Come again whenever you have that opportunity. This is where we played rugby. This is where we learned how to sidestep stones when there's mandamano. This is the institution that really brought a lot of brotherhood and cultivated nationalism. So I speak with that emotion because I know that this is a good school. Finally, I don't know what else to say, but Mama uliuliza kitu, maybe as a good sign so that my young schoolmates do not feel embarrassed when they go out to various institutions. I will donate at least 1 million shillings to put on the table so that you can start the journey of getting the refurbishment of the bus. I was listening to the president as he walked and he was looking at those yellow buses there. And he made some remarks. Sasa, nikanyamaza tu nikasema sasa, ametuweza hapo. So, Your Excellency, it's now my pleasure to request you to come forward and speak to this gathering here of Nairobi School. Ladies and gentlemen, can we all shout to the uttermost? To the uttermost. Asante.
Thank you very much, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. Please, let's take our seats. Asante sana. The Prime Cabinet Secretary, our CS for Education, Principal Secretaries, the Chair of the Board of Governors, the Chair of the Parents Association, the President of the Student Fraternity, and parents and students, good afternoon. I am very happy to be here another time. I was here sometime in 2016. I did promise that time that I would come back. I didn't know it was going to take so long. But anyway, I'm here. I may not say many things the way my good brother Musalia has said about the school, because I went to another school. And but I can claim some association with this school through two people. The chair of the board, Madam Rebecca, Murigo, and your former head teacher of the school, Mr. Kibet. The three of us graduated the same day at Nairobi University. So I can at least claim that I was a classmate of those two great people who have great association with this school. I know Musalia has raised an objection about whether this is the greatest or there is another one. I do not want to engage myself in that one because I'm not sure. But I also want to raise an objection on what he said about the bus. I think Prime Cabinet Secretary just buy the bus. And if you need help, look for friends. And one of them is standing before you. So I am sure Musalia will deliver the bus. So at least we have one thing out of the way. But I'm pleased to join the Nairobi school community to celebrate two developments for this renowned institution: the commissioning of a new dormitory and the laying of the foundation stone for a new science laboratory, which I just did this afternoon. These projects will enhance and augment the learning experience, improve student living conditions, and help deliver an even more holistic education for this generation of students and those who will come after. Infrastructural facilities are essential to educational experience. The learning environment matters, and it is wonderful to see this esteemed institution building on its great legacy and working hard to win the future. Education is not an investment in the present. It is an attempt to effect the prosperity tomorrow by molding the human resource necessary to achieve that success, but doing it today. Every society that seeks a better future must begin by improving its education. In the words of the poet Maya Angelou, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare today. I salute everyone involved in these projects because your efforts will have an impact on the future of this great institution, the future of education, and the future of our country. The dormitory commission today is funded by the government through the Kenya National Highway Authority and will house 430 students, relieving the burden on 8 dormitories that currently accommodate the student fraternity. This project affirms that when we come together as government, parents, and teachers and pool our efforts, ideas, and resources, we can accomplish great things for our children, for our schools, and for our country. This school has a rich history and a track record of producing eminent professionals, some of whom have gone on to play leading roles in commerce, in health, engineering, public service, and other sectors of our society. In total, 20,424 young men have left this institution and are out serving this country and the world in various capacities. I think that's monumental. I'm reminded that from the words of your chair of the PA, that you come here as boys and you leave as men. Education is the cornerstone of progress and development. It has the power to transform lives and transcend limitations imposed by economic backgrounds. I am reminded by the words made earlier that education being the greatest equalizer, it makes us equal. It makes you the same, irrespective of the village you come from, irrespective of the region you come from, irrespective of your background. We recently launched a new funding model for higher education designed to ensure that deserving students from the vulnerable and needy families are able to access university education to give them the chance to write a new chapter of prosperity in their lives. And let me say this, that we are investing close to 30% of all our resources as a country in education. And we are doing so intentionally and deliberately, because the greatest resource we have as a nation is our human capital. And to be able to sharpen and mold that human capital, it is education that is the instrument for us to make our human capital that much better. And therefore, every coin we invest in education is an investment in the right place. I did commit that we will continuously look at how education can evolve with the realities of our times and the requirements of our industry. And that is why CBC becomes a big component of aligning our education to the requirements of our present and making sure that it is prepared to deal with the challenges of the future. And that's why a lot of work, a lot of investment, and that's the reason why I put together the Presidential Working Party on education, because education is important. We cannot afford to play hide and seek or guesswork with our education. It is the reason we have hired the largest cohort of teachers ever in the history of our country this year. It is the reason we will do it again next year. And I am persuaded beyond any doubt that even as we take, for those of us who can, take our children to academies, the children of other Kenyans must equally have the same education that is being taught elsewhere. And that is why from our day schools, all primary schools, public schools, we must give ourselves the best possible chance for our children to have access to the best available education by making sure that we avail infrastructure and we avail the teachers to be able to teach. We are committed to building a modern, dynamic, and inclusive education ecosystem that is student-centered, a system that molds minds, shapes character, and transforms young men and women into agents of innovation, productivity, and progress. A system that delivers knowledge, builds competencies, and instills purpose. And it is the reason why we're not only dealing with our basic education, we are also working round the clock to see how we can improve our tertiary education in our TVETs and in our universities as well. I did ask Mr. Minor, the head teacher of this school, about how many students will be getting out of this institution after their education, and he told me 541. All those young men that will live here, they will go to TVETs, they will go to universities. As we all know, we have had serious challenges with our TVET and university education because of funding. And it is also the reason why we developed a new funding model, where we are going to double the resources available for our TVET institutions from about 5.2 billion to 10 billion every year. And we are also going to enhance the available resources in our universities from about 44 billion to 82 billion every year. So that we can be able to ensure that our children are not in school doing nothing. They are in school acquiring knowledge. And it is because, as I said, our human capital is the single most important resource that we have as a nation. And we cannot afford to gamble with the only resource that we are sure about. We live in a world that changes at frenetic pace. Our education system must equip our children with the skills and values they need to thrive in the 21st century. These are the terms of reference for the education reforms that are currently in progress. Our goal is to create an education system that is responsive to the needs of our children, matches requirements of the market, and prepares them for the challenges and opportunities of the future. We will do what it takes to achieve this goal. We are investing in new technologies, developing new curricula, and improving teacher training to ensure that our children receive that our society considers dear. Under the competence-based curriculum, we are committed to fostering an environment where students can explore their passions, think critically, and collaborate effectively. We also encourage scientific inquiry, innovation, and a love for learning. I am very pleased that we've come here to do something about sciences. That is the space that we need to up our game. I know it's easy for students to say, I do not like sciences, but that education is a shared responsibility, a partnership of sorts between parents, teachers, and the community. I am delighted to hear that parents have committed to have also already raised, I'm told, 25 million towards the science complex. This is the spirit, and this is the way. Congratulations, our parents. And because you have demonstrated the partnership, the Ministry of Education will complement your efforts. I have discussed with the minister, and they will work with you towards the completion, that there were matters in court. I also know that the matters have been decided in court. I also hear the chair saying we want a win-win outcome, and I agree that it must be a win-win outcome. And so we are going to work with the Kibagare community so that using our housing plan, we can be able to develop housing for them so that we can be able to get a win-win outcome. So, Bwana Mheshimiwa, tutapanga. And I will be sending our Minister for Lands and Housing to discuss with the community so that we can have a win-win outcome. I remember we were discussing that when I came here, I think it was June 28th of 2016. Let me also say to the student community, these projects are investments in you. They are a way of saying, we believe in you, and you have enormous potential, and we are not willing to let it go to waste. You can count on us so that you can know that your parents, your teachers, and the government of Kenya, your teachers and the government of Kenya will stand shoulder to shoulder, be your best. And I'm saying this for the students in this school, as I say to students across Kenya. Do your part, work hard, hone your skills and talents, and take the legacy of this school to new heights. I assure you that the government's commitment to providing quality education for every child in Kenya remains unwavering. Let me also speak to one or two other issues. It is the right thing to do. And because you're willing to give opportunity to more students in Kenya to partake of the greatness of this institution by getting admission in this institution, I agree that we need to enhance the infrastructure of the school. And let me say the following. We have two opportunities. We have opportunities in our day schools, making sure that we have opportunities to go to secondary school as near as possible to communities. And day schools play a very significant role in making sure there is access to education, especially for parents in different places, in different villages in Kenya. We also know that we can expand opportunities in legacy institutions like Nairobi School and build on the great tradition that has been built over many years in these institutions. It is my suggestion to the Ministry of Education that institutions like Nairobi School should be able to take in more students so that more Kenyans can benefit from the tradition. But because I am a great believer in matters education, beyond what the ministry can do, I will look for friends so that we can do the 12 classrooms. I look for friends so that we can do the 12 classrooms. I'm told you need an extra 12 classrooms. But Rebecca, you know, you were with me in college. If we do the 12 classrooms, you must admit an extra 1,000 students from the whole of Kenya. Yeah, take your seats. From the whole of Kenya. Why I am doing this, and for the record, I will look for other friends so that we can also do the dormitory. I've been told we need a dormitory that can accommodate between 800 and 1,000 young men. But we will have to agree on a few issues. That there will be students from every county in Kenya in this school. Ama mnatakaje? See, we want to build one society. We want students from the county of Turkana here. You want to maintain that status, right? You want to maintain that status, right? So from this area, so that we can also give an affirmative action for the children of Nairobi County, so that more children from Nairobi County can also be in this great institution. So, and I will be coming here personally to supervise the construction. So, nitakuwa area. Nitakuwa area. So tutakuja tutaongea hiyo mambo ingine tukiwa tunashughulika na hiyo kazi. And I'm saying this as I did say in Limuru Girls, where I was the other day, that it is the right thing to expand infrastructure in our national schools and admit students from across Kenya so that we can build the Kenyan society that we all believe in, so that students from every county can come into this institution, interact, build networks, get new friends from across the nation, and build really national schools in the Republic of Kenya, even as we continue education in all our other boarding schools and day schools, that we will continue to work with the stakeholders in this sector. We will continue to consult. We will continue to ensure to all of us who are here, parents, teachers, and the leaders who are here. We have 541 students from just this school walking out of that gate later this year. And they will be joining 800,000 others from other institutions in the labor market. It is our responsibility, and I want to tell every parent, every leader, the teachers, it is our responsibility as a nation to think about where these children of ours are going. We cannot continue to bury our heads in the sand and assume that somehow, by some magic, they will get a job. We have to plan on how these young people get a job. It must be intentional. It must be deliberate. Otherwise, they will be joining 5 million young people today in Kenya who do not have jobs. And that portends to all of us real danger. We must think as government, we must think as a society, and we must think as a nation to put in place programs that are going to sort out unemployment in Kenya. And I am very confident that, because I have not come across any leader, I have not come across any parent who is comfortable going to create jobs for our young people. We have a credible plan, and I am very confident that we will find the harmony to implement it and to transform our nation, create jobs, build our economy, enhance manufacturing, create opportunities for our MSMEs, and make Kenya prosperous and great for all of us. So I am truly, truly grateful. Asanteni sana kwa kunikaribisha inaitwa Patch. Sasa sisi tuliosomea Gishagi tutasema nini sasa? Or we will be left saying at least we know alumni of Patch, okay? So asanteni sana, my very best wishes, and God bless you. Asanteni.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, let us all be